Good morning and welcome to this Guru Mantra meditation. I'm Cyan. Hi everybody. Hi Georgie, hi Nafisa, hi Gab, and Haley. Morning Prit. I had to start a little late because the leaf blower man had started up again. Old Mr. Leaf Blower can't get enough of blowing leaves at 8:30 a.m. It's his thing, apparently. So I had to kind of race, shift spots, do a quick clean. And this side of the room is not as clean as this side. I'm going to put it out there. So we're back in my room. Hey Nikki, hi Georgie and Karen, hi Nafisa again. Hi Lila and Lyndall and Catherine, welcome. As I throw some tracksuit pants off to a book, the Gita, and some electrical cords. Sounds like my kind of a house. I should invite him to the meditation. I really should. Good morning, Francesca. He just can't hear me over the sound of the leaf blower. I do have a mind to open the window and be like, what are you doing? Not now, but, leaves need to be blown around for some weird reason. Hey T, hi Sarah and Clarence. You like the new scenery? Yes, it's important. Oh, on the note of new scenery, Tassimasi, where I was last week, have said that if anybody wants to go down, because quite a few people asked me about going down and people who were contacting them, and they said that if anybody mentions the Light Collective or my name, will get a discount. I think it's 10 or 15% off. So that's pretty nice. Thank you to the crew at Tussie for offering that discount. Very kind of you. Hi Jazz. Hi Jess and Alicia. And thanks Francesca. I mean, that was not why I went to Tussie, and that was not either of our intentions for it to be any kind of promo, but she was just giving it to me so I could have a bit of a break, and it was great. And what I was thinking about with that time away for me ended up being, I think it was quite transformative. Hi Fiona, welcome. It really helped me to come to some realizations that I think had been building over this whole period. And I wanted to ask, hey Chris, hey Judy, I wanted to ask if anybody else has had some personal epiphanies arise. Hi Eugenia. I would be interested to know if, like me, and it's sometimes when it comes to epiphanies, like for example, one of mine was that I was internally addicted to a particular kind of thought that was limiting me. And, this kind of side of myself that could feel like sorry for myself, letting go, says Chris. It can seem like if I said to you, I'm feeling so happy because I've let go of a feeling of being a victim or feeling sorry for myself. You kind of be like, okay, great. But when it's you and when you have a personal epiphany, when you have a realization and when the change is made internally, it's like mind-blowing. And I think that if we have had the opportunity to make any kind of inner change in our lives, then this period is kind of worthwhile in some way. There's a positivity to it. So, like, for example, Chris saying that letting go, and Fiona as well saying letting go and trusting the process. To profoundly and deeply feel that in your body is a massive realization to have, to really be able to let go It's huge. And we can read about it in books, but until we have that personal experience of it where we really feel it, then they're all just concepts and ideas. So I'm really excited to kind of hear some of yours. Karen says reframing what home means. Yeah, and I think that when you have that, you realize, I mean, I don't know what it has been for you, but I've had these moments as well in my life where I haven't had a solid home, and you realize that your home is the space within you, or, you know, it's with the people who make you feel safe as well. And where can you be at home in the world? And I think that I remember my mum at one point sending me a quote from the Dalai Lama when I was feeling really homesick. I think I was living in Copenhagen at the time, and he was saying that he has to travel everywhere all of the time. I mean, not anymore, but he was doing a lot of travel. And he said that home was always in his heart, so he never felt homesick, because somebody asked him, do you feel homesick for Tibet? Do you feel homesick for, you know, Dharamsala, where you live, and Dharamshala? And he said, no, because my home is in here. Nudge, I've realized how much my ego dictates the way I react to things that don't need to be reacted to in that way at all. Wow, that's a big one. That's a really big one. Checking in on yourself. And because I think when it comes to some of these realizations, there's a sense that there is a very deep personal responsibility. I mean, this was for me, I realized that I could very easily drop into a negative state of mind that only I was creating. And you have to take this radical responsibility for your own life and what you're creating in your own life. And to be able to say, hang on, I'm reacting in a way and I can change that. That's amazing. So I'm very happy for you. Fiona says self-nurturing and giving time to herself as much as to others. This is also very beautiful. You've spent, okay, so it's so funny when people write, it ends up being the same ones. I've spent so much time focusing on helping others that I never allowed time for me, and create the balance to have both. So you're both having that experience now. And when we can realize that filling ourselves up first allows us to give to others, but also even beyond that, just filling yourself up is all you can do, because you can't actually take on other people's journeys. You can't do the work for everybody else around you. That's a really big one. Nikki, peeling back the layers of emotions despite anxiety, sadness, or worries, there's light, inner peace, calm and flowing love. Wow. Georgie, realization is that being busy often is about keeping up, but this time has been more simple. Less outings. Whoops. Less outings, but deeper rest and more time to reflect. That's great. You've been injured the whole time COVID has been on, meaning that you had to stop your yoga practice, but meditation has replaced it. That's so great. Thanks so much for sharing. Because that's what this is about. And it's interesting, like, the reason why we feel good when we do this practice together is that it's releasing all sorts of hormones when we share, when we're open, when we're vulnerable with each other, even across the internet. Oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, all of these things start to awaken in us when we connect with people, and when we're able to be vulnerable, when we can share, and when we can be open. It's incredible how it makes us feel really good. It's not just because we don't feel like we're alone on this journey, but it's also that chemically we're rewarded for practices and acts like the one that we're doing right now. And that's why it's really important for us to kind of not isolate ourselves completely, to have this time for self-reflection but also to use the Sangha and to use the community. The light of these practices rubs off on the people around us. That's so true. And that's why your own practice and looking after yourself and self-nurturing affects everybody else. You don't even have to do anything to other people. They just feel better around you because you're calmer, you're clearer, you're lighter in the way you are. And people want to be around that. There's a radiance to somebody who is sitting in themselves, practicing, showing up. The daily meditations and tools you have shared have helped me change throughout this time. Well, you're the best, Bree. So if you've changed in any way, then you're just going to elevate in new ways of joy, I'm sure. And I also wanted to thank everybody yesterday for, again, being really open and sharing around trauma, because that is a really big topic. And, I had maybe 15 minutes to discuss it. And I had some beautiful messages from people afterwards. One was from Simone. The whole discussion around trauma is amazing and so important. I often feel I store things in my body as a way of my mind being done with processing it. It's like saying, okay, we don't want to deal with it anymore, so I'm just going to store it somewhere in my body instead so my mind doesn't have to think about it anymore. And this is really harmful over the long term. And I've definitely felt your practices shift things that I had shoved somewhere else so it wasn't on my mind. So thank you for discussing and sharing this. You're welcome. Also from Joanna, thank you so much. I suffered most of my trauma from 6 to 16 years old, and it's so amazing to me that this was the session I was most drawn to, and you chose to speak about that. So that was the first time she'd shown up, and it was the topic that it had been on my mind for a while after, I'd been asked about it. And it's so funny, I just wasn't answering it. And then on the day where I decide to answer, it's a really powerful teaching for the people who show up on that day, which is really nice for me as a teacher because it reminds me that the teachings will come out at the right time for the right people. Also from Belle, it's definitely helped to shift your relationship with yourself and your partner. Highlights the role I play and the accountability that I need to take. Yes, it's true. It's all about this radical responsibility, accountability, because we can blame everyone else, but in the end, the only thing that we can control is ourselves. To have that as an awakening within you, then it's a very profound thing. Shaking has been amazing. It changes your vibration and shifts negativity. It's like magic. I know. The shaking practices, and we've put a bunch of them up, and I will put mine up, I think, at some stage, either today or tomorrow. And they're amazing. So getting it out of your body is an incredible way to shift trauma. You did the yoga nidra and the TLC membership last night. Had the deepest sleep you've had in a long time. Oh, that's so good. Elle, great. I'm so glad I produced those the other day in my cupboard, surrounded by blankets, because my sound technician, we're on a hiatus, obviously, because of COVID. So I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. You're loving the online shakes. Yes to that, Warren. Great. Me too. It's a practice, like I said, that I do frequently. I absolutely love it. Harry Potter style in the cupboard. That's me. The sound was amazing and clear. Great. Okay, that's really good. I've just got to check on all the timings. Is there a leaf blower outside? Or is my upstairs neighbour going to have a bath at 11 a.m.? You just don't know what's going to happen during COVID. Cupboard recording. Yes. Where else am I going to do it? I'm lucky I've got a cupboard, a big cupboard. Before we get into the meditation, I wanted to discuss working with mantra on different levels, because we've been working with mantra as a meditation technique, but it can also be used. It's so professional. That's great. Okay. Well, I mean, I did purchase a while back a really good microphone, so it does help. So I wanted to talk a bit about working with mantra, and on the Light Collective, I've put up 3 mantras for healing on the IGTV. So it's a post which goes onto IGTV as well, if you're interested in doing those during this time. So they're particularly good. I mean, you can do them at any time, but particularly good for healing or shifting energy. And you can work with a mala, and that is another that's another little video that we created, how to work with the mala. And basically a mala has 108 beads. So this morning I was working with Gayatri mantra, and every time you say the mantra, you track a bead until you've done 108 beads. And this can be a really powerful tool to move into meditation. And the specific mantras, especially the Maha mantras, such as Maha Gayatri and Maha Mrityunjaya, are really powerful in shifting energy. So if you're finding that this period or right now you're feeling flat or still anxious, and it will come up even if you practice every day. You know, our bodies change, our circumstances change, our minds shift, our hormones shift. Many things can happen, and we can be elevated for a few days, we can drop on other days. Then the practice of working with japa mantra, which means repetitive recitation externally very often of mantra, can be really powerful, especially Gayatri, because Gayatri is the mantra that connects us to light. And I'll chant this mantra a couple of times now so that you can hear it. It's also on the website for free, and you can find it on Spotify with many different variations. I find that it is very, very powerful for me in shifting into a lighter state of mind. And I also find that Gayatri mantra has the power to manifest greatly all that I desire in my life. The Pratasmarana mantra. Yes. And I'll chant that at the end again. So this is the Gayatri mantra. Om Bhur Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhur Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. And that mantra you can do 108 times, and it can really shift your consciousness. So for anybody who is looking for other practices, the practice of japa mantra, working with malas, can be one which is really profound, one which I find really supports a more elevated or lighter state of being. And I'll go through phases. Sometimes I'll do 40 days of 108 Gayatri every day. Right now, I'm doing it pretty regularly most days, but I'm not doing it as a sadhana. I'm just using it as a bit of a vibrational top-up. So if that's something that you're feeling that you might need, the camera has gone a bit on the Facebook. Yeah, if you feel like that's something that you need. It's also something that I've been thinking would be really nice to record and have as part of the membership space under the Sacred Sounds, to be able to listen and do the Gayatri mantra 108 times with somebody else. Yeah, the significance to that number. In fact, when we post the video, I've already gone, it's 8:50. I've already been talking You can do that at any point of the day, yes, by itself, you can. And 108 is a bigger topic, but I do address it in the video. And that I think that we're going to have our next week on Mala and Japa as well. So let's begin now our Guru Mantra meditation. Take a moment to stretch. Close the eyes down. Rest the palms in your lap. We'll start with a cleansing breath in the nose, out of the mouth. 3 rounds of Om. And silently we now consecrate our practice, letting go of our everyday limiting minds and stepping into that state of consciousness that is always transforming, realizing, connecting. And from that state, a positive state of mind, powerful, radical, we consecrate. We offer up all of the fruits of this practice, this meditation practice. We offer them all up to a greater power, source energy, the universe, whatever you call it, offer it up and wait for a response. Wherever you are, rest in your meditative position. And we work with the mantra Aham Brahmasmi. I am all of creation. I am that creative force. I am that power to create something new in myself and in the world around me. Aham Brahmasmi. We say it out aloud together. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. A little quieter. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham. Until the mantra becomes so soft that only you can hear it. A mantra repeated internally. Aham Brahmasmi. And if the mind distracts you, please come back to the mantra Aham Brahmasmi. And for these final few moments of dharana, of focus, go deep into the mantra. No distraction, only Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. And with the mind completely focused, allow the mantra to dissipate from your consciousness, leaving only deep focus. What is the experience when there is no anchor for an aware mind? Om Bhadram Karnevihi Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashe Makshabhiryachatraha Stirerangai Stushtuvargam Sastanubihi Vyashema Devahiteng Yadayuhu. May we have eyes that see the lessons for our soul's growth. May we have ears that are open to really hearing what it is we need to hear for our transformation during this short period of time we are on earth. Pratasmarana mantra slokata. We seal our practice with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And we bow in honor of all of the people who join us, who do the work every day, who show up, who are transforming themselves from the inside out to that inner power to change and transform that we know is within us. We honor in all those who joined us by saying namaste. Namaste to you all. Thanks, Georgie, Kate, and Emma. Thank you for joining me again this morning. I'm doing now 5 days a week, so tomorrow will be the last one from me for the week, and then I'm getting my teachers now to teach on Saturdays and Sundays, which is nice for me to again start to have weekends. It's been a busy period. Next week, Jamie and I begin our philosophy module course, which will be 3 weeks. Your mala doesn't have 108. Good excuse to buy another one. Count your mala. Thank you, Nikki. Thanks, Danielle. Thanks, Fleur and Bree. And Lily. Thank you all. Thanks, Kate. I'll be doing some more recordings. I made the mistake of doing some kind of poll on Instagram because I wanted to find out. And I would say half were people who, I'm mostly, joining these meditations in the morning and wanting to do more. And there were some really great ideas. But then the other half, well, so much spam. I don't know what it is about doing a poll on Instagram, but you're attracting spammers, apparently. I've had so much spam since doing that. But I am doing more, and I really appreciate those who put in the requests. So there was a lot on creativity. There was also a lot of people who wanted mysticism and more mystical kind of meditations through Yoga Nidra, which I'm more than happy to do. And a lot of people who wanted compassion and heart-centered practices. So to let you know that there is a longer heart-centered practice already, there's a series that we have called Heart Opening on the member space. And grazie mille, Bruna. Thank you for sharing your journey, inspiring and strengthening, and to everyone who shared too. I know, thank you all for sharing with me. Otherwise, it's just me kind of talking a bit to myself, which is what is going on here every day anyway. It's better to be having it with some interaction. Woohoo. So much feels when you chant. Oh, that's great, the mantra. And we get to chant along. Yes. Is fun the wrong word? No. It is the correct word. Yes, it's fun for me too. Yes, it has to be 108. You love the addition of the purple on the cauliflower in the background today. Yes. And there's also a new painting that I bought for my birthday with gratitude from my family. And I just haven't had a chance to put it up yet. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. I also added one of my ceramic yonis. It's all happening. If you want to incorporate japa mantra, but realistically 108 daily is not achievable, is there a slightly smaller, powerful number? You know what? I do Gayatri today, and it takes me 15 minutes or so. It's like 15, 16 minutes to do 108 because it's like this. At the start, it's slow, Ombor, and then it moves to Ombor, Burvasvaha, Tatsavitur Varenyam, Bargo Devasya Dimahi, Diyo Yona Prachodayat, Ombor, Burvasvaha, Bargo Devasya Dimahi, Diyo Yona Prachodayat. You can do it in 16 minutes. You can halve it. Do half if you've only got 8 minutes, you could do half. But then you got to go straight into it super quick. You were wondering how long. I mean, the last place where I did my training at Sattva in Rishikesh, they didn't go fast. So it was like 45 minutes to an hour to do it. And I would only do that. Yeah, I'm on the fast forward button. Yeah, it took you 40 minutes. Yeah, probably 40 to, it could be an hour. I will only do it slow if I'm doing a Havan. But even with Havan, they go fast. They do it in India fast. And that's the way I was originally taught. And yeah, it's up to you and how much time you have. But I have so many practices in my day. I don't have time to do just an hour of chanting every day on top of what else I'm doing in terms of meditation. Yeah, so you can make it quick if you want to do it. And you don't have to do it every day, but it does give you a boost. Definitely gives you a boost. the mantra japa mantra. Also next week I will be running a women's circle, so if you're wanting more of the oxytocin vibes, you'll get them through a women's circle. It is going to be like a class though, so we're setting it up on Zoom, so it won't be recorded. It will be a personal practice. And when you did it in Bali, yes, your hand went numb. Yeah, well, that could happen. But you didn't die from a numb hand, right? You're still here to tell the tale. So with the women's circle, it will start on time. So because of the way the waiting list works, we'll open up 15 minutes before and we'll get everyone to arrive. But when the time starts, we're not going to be letting people in because it's a sacred space. So that will be next Thursday for those who are in the membership, which I'm looking forward to because I've been doing a Tantra training for the last few months, which is going for a year. And so I'll be able to bring in some nice new practices for everybody. It's a specific women's training that I'm doing this year. So I hope you all have a beautiful day. If you have requests for yoga nidras, you can even send them through to the Instagram and DM us. If you're interested in doing the philosophy course, we're starting on Monday. And if there are any comments or if you have any questions generally that you want to be brought into the practices, send them through. And you know, they often are part of my teachings in the morning. So thank you all for joining.